And I just want you to know that, B Loves Life, that you are beautiful. I don't care how much weight you gain. I don't care what your hair looks like. You are beautiful inside and out. They talked about me like a dog, but they also talked about Jesus like a dog. And they're going to keep talking.
And I'm big around the
Let them talk.
I don't care.
Let them talk.
What's up, Waxer Squad? Welcome back to another cooking tutorial. Today, you guys, we are cooking my famous mustard fried chicken. I say famous because the recent video that I did showing you guys in a short video how I made my mustard fried chicken, it's over 1 million views. So shout out to everyone that is subscribed to the channel because of that. So right here, I'm just adding in a few new ingredients. The Brazilian steak zest you saw there by McCormick. And then I added in some adobo chicken seasoning. And you just want to eyeball your seasonings. I used about 2 tablespoons, 2 to 3 tablespoons. And then I added in some red pepper flakes and some garlic powder. And then I go ahead and sprinkle in some black pepper. And how's everyone doing today? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And I hope you guys are enjoying our content. I added in some turmeric powder. Now, you don't have to add in turmeric powder, but I just believe that it gives the chicken a nice crispy texture when I add in the turmeric powder. That could be all in my mind, and it gives it a nice color as well. And then I always add in smoked paprika, you guys. You don't have to, but I just love it. So the main ingredient here, the main focus of attraction is going to be this mustard, and you add in about 2 tablespoons. And you can add an egg. I used to add an egg to my mustard fried chicken. I think I might have even added an egg in the short video I did, the 60-second video I did. And if you want to access my short videos, just go to my YouTube channel on my profile, and it should be a section that says shorts. And that's where you're going to find all of my short videos, okay, that I create as well. And so once you have this mixed up, look at how beautiful that looks. And it's that mustard and that turmeric powder that's giving it that beautiful golden, beautiful golden taste. I don't know if that's a word, but anyway. So then this is the main attraction. You want to use bread flour, and you want to use panko bread crumbs. You want to use baking powder and cornstarch. This is what I use. My mother taught me how to do this. And so this is going to give it a nice crust. You want to use 2 cups of flour, and you want to use 1 cup of panko bread crumbs, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And then you can season your flour, or you don't have to. It's up to you. But I just seasoned it with a couple of the seasonings that I did originally put on the chicken: smoked paprika, black powder, the rest of this adobo seasoning, which is just a tablespoon. Keep in mind, you can also just use, your own type of salt that you like if you don't like adobo. Sometimes I like to use chicken bouillon as well. It's so good. And then you want to pack this into your chicken after you allow it to marinate for at least 30 minutes to an hour, okay? You got to let that mustard get in there. And then you want to pack this flour, bread flour. Now, I think we use bread flour because it just gives the chicken a crunchier and thicker crust, I think, is why my mom chooses to use it. But I'll have to ask her, because that's why I use it, because she told me to start using it. So you want to fry your chicken for about 10 to 12 minutes in a pressure cooker or on the stove. And this is what you get, y'all. This is what it looks like. So I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial.
What's up, Waxer Squad? Welcome back to the channel.
Everybody love to eat.
Okay. No. Oh, yeah, go ahead. We are family.
There's family left to eat.
Hey!
We are family.
Hey. This family loves to eat. Hey!
Fried chicken good, you see.
Ooh.
Hey. With some salad and it. Say
it again.
And
we are family. What you say?
Yeah.
This family loves to eat.
Yeah. Nana.
We got fried chicken wings. This
Alice got his rolls to eat.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Our family.
God, you touched my bread.
I'm just... No,
You didn't have to touch my bread. You got to run into it.
Oh, like this?
Okay, hold on. Hey.
All right.
You ain't going to need all that. That's okay, because that's all I need right
Okay.
there.
Nana.
You want this or Valentine?
I don't want that much.
Oh, man.
I have to do my meal.
The chicken in there, some. Oh, my God.
Ooh, what was
I
that?
broke my bowl.
What bowl?
My favorite bowl.
Man, why you break it, man?
Don't break it, man. Obviously, it was an accident. Man.
Was it a little bowl?
Huh?
A little bowl?
No, big one.
Better come chicken.
It's B Loves Life. She's been going viral on YouTube. And just so you guys know, this is not a planned discussion. I'm literally off the top of the dome. But when me and my mom were talking to our friend out in the car, the topic was basically about opinions of other people. And, you know, I was trying to encourage and just get my point across that people are going to say what they want to say no matter what. And you may not have a family where you're showing your life, you're showing your home, you're showing your kids or your family on social media. You may not have that. You might be a very private person to where you're like, nah, I don't want to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everything and every person is not cut out for that. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Also, every person is not cut out for their own business. Some people just like to work for other people. That's besides what we were talking about in the car, but I'm just saying everybody's not cut out for that. So different strokes for different folks, right? But at the end of the day, you're still going to have to conquer a mountain. You're still going to have to deal with opposition. You're still going to have to face someone having an opinion about you, your family, or you might have grown up in it where your family had opinions about you, because that's really where we learn how to respond to opinions. It's through our bloodline that we learn how to respond to opinions anyway. You know what I'm saying? And how we feel about ourselves, a lot of it, majority of it is based off of what we learn as children while we're growing up, okay? So, that being said, I love the way that B Loves Life has responded to the controversy regarding her weight. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of naysayers. You got a lot of people in their opinions. But here's one thing I do not like. A lot of times when you're getting negativity, sometimes you run from that atmosphere that's creating that negativity. A lot of times you'll start off with your YouTube channel, you'll start off with your social media, and it's wonderful, and you're excited, and you're happy. Let me go ahead and get my chickens, because I'm finna talk, you guys. And I already see my husband in the future devouring all of these chickens. So let me get my 3, because I know it's finna go down in this place.
You already know it. He ain't breathing hard for nothing.
Nothing, baby. You fine.
What happened?
Enjoy your chicken.
Nana, nothing?
I'm sure.
These onions are good. I've never eaten. I don't know if I've ever eaten them. I don't think I ate these. I didn't. These are good. Don't look at me like that. I said what I said.
Everything was meat up there when I got up. Like everything was... Everybody's minding their own business up there now.
What?
Our chicken mind their own business.
It was minding his own business?
Right now, they're minding their
Hold on,
own
y'all.
business.
I'm going to get back into what I was
It
saying.
wasn't like that.
Hold on, y'all.
They were together. Now they're minding their own business. So I'm going that way. I'm going that way. They got upset now.
Oh, this is good. I'm hitting the spot.
They got upset. They're not together no more.
Nothing upset. Nobody upset. Eat your chicken and enjoy.
Even the chicken's upset.
This is mine. Is it?
Mama, yours right there.
No, that's the other one. This is mine.
Here.
Yeah.
Give me some more napkins. Maybe I took hers.
Here.
My bad. Here's an extra one. Anyways, like I was saying, is that you'll have like a social media following, right? You'll have a YouTube, you'll have a social media following, and you start off with it, and it's wonderful, and you have so much inspiration, and you're so proud of it, and you just want to do it, and you know, it's just so much positivity, and then somewhere along the way, now, for me, I'm Christian, right? So being a Christian, you learn to look at things from a spiritual standpoint and not so much as a physical standpoint, because everything you see, regardless if you're a Christian or not, well, depending on what religion you're in, but majority of it is spiritual. And everything that you see has evolved from a spiritual standpoint, right? And so I look from a spiritual standpoint before I look from a physical standpoint. When it comes to any situation, I look at it from a spiritual standpoint before I look at it physically. You understand what I'm saying now? So that being said, somewhere along the way, you're doing your videos, you're happy, whatever business you're starting. It might not even be social media. It's anything in life that you're doing, that you're starting or you're going to do to better yourself or make you feel, you know, uplift you or uplift your family or whatever. When you're doing these things, somewhere along the way, the enemy, right? The demon, the devil, he doesn't want you. I love how you took that crust from that chicken and made your own little crustacean croissant. Well, not croissant, crouton. Get it. Get it, ma'am. Hello. I had to acknowledge that. Hold on.
That go to waste.
Somewhere along the way, what ends up happening is that you might tend to lose your vigor or your motivation or your positive energy or your stamina to create that content or continue on in that upward motion towards that business that made you happy, towards that social media following or platform that made you happy. Why? It happens because because you see the negativity coming from it. And sometimes the negativity outweighs the bad. Outweighs the good. Now, when you're looking at it from a physical standpoint, majority of the time, the negativity, I won't say majority of the time, but over 50% of the time, the negativity does not outweigh the positivity. It never does. But that's all you focus on, and that's all you see, because the negativity leaves a sting. And when I say the negativity leaves a sting, it takes a toll on you spiritually, right? It takes a toll on your soul. Your soul, the biblical definition of your soul is your mind, will, and emotions. So when negative things transpire in your life or you read negative comments, it takes a toll on your mind. It takes a toll on your will, on what you really want to do. You're like, man, I don't really want to do this anymore. I'm just looking at negativity. I don't really want to do it. It takes a toll on your emotions, right? How you're feeling about yourself. It does, right? Now, depending on how much of a toll it takes, you'll either want to walk away from it, or you'll either want to pursue it. And in B Loves Life's case, oftentimes in her videos, she says that she doesn't even look at the comments. I had to change out the battery, you guys. But oftentimes, you know, what I've been seeing on her comments, like she'll say she'll look at the comments, but, you know, she don't really look at them. Like she often says that she'll look at them, but she doesn't look at them. You know, like she doesn't want to go into a pool of negativity. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't want to go and look at negativity, and she knows there's going to be negativity there. So she would rather just not look at it, because it does take a toll on your mental health when you're reading negative comments all the time. You get what I'm saying? But that was never what her YouTube was supposed to be about. I started following B Loves Life when she had about 40,000, about 30,000, 40,000 subscribers. And it was majority positivity. It was some negativity, but it was majority positivity. And she was hearting comments, and she was enjoying what she was doing, and she was having a lot of fun. It was fun for her. It was fun for a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? But along the way, what the negativity you see threatens that positive vibe. It threatens that vigor. It threatens that motivation to even open up my comment section and heart the comments. You get what I'm saying? And that is what has happened. Because you got everybody commenting on her weight and in her physical features. And that does take a toll on a person. I understand that. But with Donisha, honey, I look at everything from a spiritual standpoint. And from the spirit realm, what I see is the devil is threatened. The devil is upset. The devil is mad because you have a black woman, right? And when I say black woman, I put emphasis on that black woman. Why? Because black women are taught to not love themselves. Black women are castrated. And I don't even know if that's the word. Castrated is the word? Black women are ostracized. Black women are outcasted.
Looked upon.
Black women are outcasted. Black women are frowned upon, right? Black women are at the lowest totem pole when it comes to financial gain, right? And what I'm saying is this. From a spiritual standpoint, the devil is trying to, and will often try, and attack the person or the woman that's been ostracized, you feel me, and downgraded. And that is what's happened in B-Love's case. The devil is trying to attack her. The devil tries to attack me. The devil tries to attack my mom. Of course, the devil tries to attack everyone. You know what I'm saying? He don't like no one. He don't love no one.
Mainly women.
But he's attacking us because we are stepping out of the boundaries that society has tried to keep us in. We're starting our own businesses. We're recognizing that we're more than what the world has tried to tell us that we are. We're standing up for ourselves.
Yeah.
We're becoming our own voice.
Yeah.
And we are living in our own truth and becoming who God says that we can become.
Amen.
Therefore, there's going to be opposition. Therefore, the devil is going to try to intimidate us.
It's gonna be a
Therefore,
fight.
there's going to be negative comments.
Yeah.
That comment section is mine. I worked for that. I edit the videos. I put the food out there. I create the content. So how dare me allow anybody to push me out of the space that God provided for me to express myself and give love to those that are supporting me. And I will never allow anyone to push me out of any space that God has put me in. So I want to encourage you. I want to encourage all of you out there that no matter what you're facing, no matter what you're going through, allow God to show you who you are. Allow God to define your identity. Allow God to show you who you are as a person. I don't get my confidence from me. So when they talked about me like a dog and said I looked like a man, it might have hurt me. You see me on camera with my mom crying. I'm not saying it didn't hurt me, but I didn't allow it to stop me from getting in my comment section. I didn't allow it to stop me from being who I am. Why? Because what God thinks about me, who he says I am, it outweighs the negativity. It outweighs what people think about me. It outweighs that. So now I don't have to always respond to negativity. I could simply block and remove and keep it pushing because I see that the positivity outweighs the bad. And sometimes the positivity won't outweigh the bad in your comment section. And in those instances, I turn the comments off. Because what I'm not going to do is allow the enemy to come in and try to dominate and control and overpower me. Because greater is he that resides on the inside of us than resides in the world. God is greater in me than anybody or anything in the world. So who do you think you are? What?
And the Bible said, if God be for us,
who can be against us?
Amen.
How can you be against me when God is for me? You're no match. The negativity is no match.
Amen.
It's not.
And you're the head and not the tail. And you're above and not beneath.
Yeah.
And you have to know that, B Loves Life. You have to know that there are more that are fighting for you. Just like in the Bible when Elisha, when they were going into battle and the young servant opened his eyes and he saw all around him. He saw the opposing team. He saw the enemy all around him and he got afraid. Elisha said, Lord, open his eyes. He prayed and said, Lord, open his eyes that he may see. Because there are more that are with us than there are that of those against us.
Listen to that.
And when he opened his eyes and he saw God's horses, he saw God's horses and chariots of fire surrounding the enemy. I want you to understand something. Nathaniel Bassey has a song that his song is Tobechiku. That's the name of it. But the song, what he says, the first lyrics in his songs, he says, even before I prayed, Jehovah Nisi answered me. And I love that verse of that verse of the song. Even before you pray, when you're a child of God, even before you pray, God is he's already answered you. He's already fighting the enemy. He's already there. Never let the devil punk you out of your blessing and out of what God has for you and what God has put here for you. If you leave YouTube, if you leave your platform, it's because you decided to do it. It's because that's what you felt like doing. It's because that's what God would have you to do in that season, in that time of your life. But never let nobody punk you out of anything or try to punk you out of what God has for you. Because they are no match. The enemy is no match for who God has created you to be. And I just want you to know that, Love's Life, that you are beautiful. I don't care how much weight you gain. I don't care what your hair looks like. You are beautiful inside and out. They talked about me like a dog, but they also talked about Jesus like a dog. And they're going to keep talking.
And I'm big around the
Let them talk.
I don't care.
Let them talk.
I didn't gain weight.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let them talk. Let them talk. You continue to love on those that are loving on you. Heart them comments if you want to heart them comments. Don't let nobody punk you out of nothing. Get your confidence from God like you already do. And your family. And keep moving. Keep pushing.
Hold the head up high.
And do you actually, and you know what, and you actually, do you
and
actually,
that's just that.
Do you actually know?
Press on.
Do anyone actually know when you get ready to pray, angels is right there waiting for you to just open up your mouth and decree a thing. You know, because God gives it, you know, He places them there for us to say, for us to just open up our mouth just to say something. But sometimes we don't. We know, we shun it off. We go on about our business. But they be right there. Especially when you say the word Lord. They come right there. They be sitting there waiting. They be waiting. Their ears be open. They be ready to listen. Okay. I wonder what he's getting ready to say. I wonder what she's getting ready to say. Is it something that she's getting ready to say? Is it something? Is she making her request known? Or is he making his request known? They waiting. But we don't. So they sit there. They sit right there. Because you have to give them an assignment. You have to give them an assignment, but majority of the time we don't. We sit there, we ponder, we complain, we murmur, we do all that. And they just sit there like, okay, well, I'm not saying anything. Not saying anything, you know, to get me to move. So they just sit there.
Yeah, you know? And if anybody else out there feeling like that in your life, just remember that God is with you.
But you have to open up your mouth. You have to open up your mouth.
You're not alone.
You can't cast down a thought.
Don't let nothing. Don't let nothing stop you from reach your destiny, from reach your goal. Don't let nothing discourage you. Move forward. All the faith. Press on to the mark of the higher calling in Christ Jesus. Amen.
You know, but we're not perfect. You know, we make mistakes or whatever. But it's one thing that I do know. I do know that God is there. I do know the Lord is there, and I do know that He's waiting for your request. If you don't open up your mouth and you does not ask Him and you do not decree a thing, it's not going to happen. And you cannot cast down a negative thought with a thought. You have to open up your mouth. You have to open up your mouth and you have to decree a thing. You have to. Even though sometimes you may don't want to. You know, you're like, okay, everything is going against me or whatever. No, God and angels is right there. He designed us an angel. You know, and to govern us, to protect us. And so whatever is it that requests or whatever, we open up our mouths and the angel takes it back to God, and you know, but we have to have faith too. You know, we can't just just say something and just expect it to happen. No, we have to have faith. And even though sometimes we feel like we don't want to have faith, because that's why we don't want it. Because just like in the Bible, when the Israelites were saying, "Make us a god so they can rule over us." Mm-hmm. What? And you know what? The way it was back in the day, back in the Bible day, when God was actually talking to them, that would be so phenomenal for us to hear Him in a loud voice. You know what I'm saying? But we don't. He doesn't speak to us in a loud voice. He speaks to us in our spirit.
Who?
The Lord. He speaks to us in our spirit.
He speaks to us in multiple ways.
He speaks to us in our spirit. He speaks to us out, things that we see and stuff like that. Like
in visions.
So, yes.
And in our dreams.
Yes. But I'm talking about when they will actually hear Him talking loud, like me and you're talking.
He might. It depends. God speaks to everybody differently. He doesn't speak to everybody the same way. It depends on your relationship with God.
Mm-hmm. No, he was speaking to them where everybody that was around him heard it.
That don't mean he doesn't speak like that still. God, the Bible says that God is the same. He doesn't change.
I understand that, Donisha.
Okay, good.
But the thing about it is, I'm talking about when God was speaking and he got them to one section of the clouds or whatever, and he was speaking to them in a loud voice. They still went back and did the same thing He told them not to do. Mm-hmm. And we do that today.
Yeah.
All that. Mm-hmm. And so they were actually talking to, he was actually talking to them, letting them know what to do, this, that, and the third. He's not talking to us in a loud voice. He's talking to us in our spirit.
He's talking to us the same way He talks in the Bible. Whatever God has done, whatever's going on, it's still going on. There's nothing new under the sun. Sometimes we're not listening. Sometimes we're not tapped into our spirit,
Donisha,
and our flesh is all in the way.
And I'm talking about, He's not talking to you in a voice like I'm talking to you like this.
He can, and He does to some people. He doesn't to you. Maybe you don't hear Him. Maybe you don't hear Him. But if the Bible says that He does, He does.
Okay.
And that's just that. There's no argument about that. If the Bible says that He does, He does. The Bible says that God is today, is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. He doesn't change. We change. We get out of alignment. We change. God doesn't change. He's the same God.
Yep. Donisha, I know God is the
same.
So
if you can't hear Him talking to you audibly,
He talks to you in your spirit.
Then He does. But that doesn't mean He don't talk audibly.
He talks to you in your spirit, Donisha.
That doesn't mean He doesn't talk audibly.
Donisha.
That doesn't, if the Bible says that He does, He does.
I'm not saying He don't, but listen.
We'll take this part out, but I'm just saying if the Bible says He does, He does. Who are you to say He doesn't? If the Bible says He does.
But it does say in the part. It does say in the part of the Bible when he was talking to Elijah, he said, "I'm not finna say anything anymore," and that's why they went out and they made other gods and things. And He told Elijah, "Go tell them this, that, and the third," because He was talking to them. They did hear Him. They did hear Him when Moses was talking, when Moses and all that. But when it got to Elijah, He said, "I'm not saying anything anymore." Okay. They're gonna have to come to me for themselves. Because they didn't listen to nothing He was saying. They just didn't. Mm-hmm. They didn't. And I just couldn't. I just man. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's the way it is today. Mm-hmm. That is the way it is today. The more He presented Himself, they quick said, well, we want to go back to Egypt. Well, we have links in fruit and meat.
So what's up, Squad family? This is the Waxing Squad family. Peace and love, guys. Thank you guys for watching our video.
Yes.
If you guys like it,
Love
subscribe
you
it,
guys.
and comment it, because this video is for those who love the Lord and love the Waxing Squad family. Peace and love. Yeah. Stay sweet. Stay peace. Stay in love.
Stay sweat.
Stay in peace. Stay sweet. Stay in love. Bye-bye. Yeah, man.
Love y'all. See y'all later in the next
Love
video.
you guys.